incoming message.
Good evening and welcome, agents, to episode 94 of Behind the Scanner. Our special guests tonight are Ashley from Philadelphia and Corey from Minneapolis. Welcome to the show. Have a question for our guests? Join us during the broadcast in our live chat room on our website, behindthescanner.com, or you can submit questions through the YouTube Q&A tool. If you know someone who would make a great guest, submit their information to us at behindthescanner.com and click on Guest Suggestions. Subscribe to our channel and watch previous recordings on YouTube. For all the latest updates and news, follow us on Google+. And now, your hosts of Behind the Scanner.
Hey, good evening, agents. Here's Agent Driscoll, and welcome to another edition of Behind the Scanner. My co-host for tonight is my pal Frank Martinez from Southern California. Hello, Frank.
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing okay. You look nice, man.
I know, I shaved.
Like a character of South Park.
Yeah, my inner 4-year-old came out to play.
We have a great show. Hey, what?
I was trying to have this kind of like Creed moment, you know, but I ended up looking like a 4-year-old, so fail.
So, we have a great show this week, including Andrew Krug doing the call of the show, Josias hosting the chat room, and, well, I think I see Daphne there. Hello, Daphne. Well, she's muted. So, please welcome our guests tonight, Ashley and Corey. Welcome, agents. Oh, you're muted, guys. Hello, Ashley.
Hello. What's going on, guys?
Well,
Hi.
let's get into the show, guys. Let's know you. So you are both from the United States. So let's start with Ashley. Please tell us about yourself and where are you from and where do you live now?
Well, I have moved 27 times, and I've lived all over the United States and 3 other countries. I'm currently residing in Philadelphia.
Which other 3 countries?
Costa Rica, Mexico, and the Czech Republic.
Oh, Mexico, really? Where in Mexico?
In Merida, the capital of the Yucatan Peninsula. I studied archaeology and anthropology at the University of Yucatan.
Oh, wow. It's a great place to study that.
Oh, yes,
you have lots of pyramids there and everything.
Yes, I got to work at quite a few of the Mayan ruins, like Chichen Itza and Uxmal. So it was really cool.
Wow, it's great and really hot there, right?
Yes, definitely.
Well, Corey, where are you from and where do you live?
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Corey. I'm from Minnesota, kind of all over. I was born in Owatonna. I've lived in Mankato. Right now I work in downtown Minneapolis and live in Eagan, which is a suburb on the southern side of the metro area. Don't quite have as extensive of a travel background, but I really, really like the Midwest, and I welcome everybody to come and visit.
Oh, I've been to your part of the country, man. It is officially the coldest city I've ever been to.
Yeah, keep going north. A buddy of mine was at school in Grand Forks, and they had to close down the school because windows shattered. It was so cold.
Oh my gosh! I thought you were gonna say they closed down the school because everybody just gave up.
Oh no. We could stand 30 feet of snow. It's the cold that gets you.
Oh no, totally. When I was up there, it was like -20. It was painful.
So typical Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Wednesday was like, yeah, -18. So.
Yep.
Hey. Where'd George go?
Oh, yeah, it's your turn, man.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Corey, since we're rolling and talking about the coldest place that I've ever been to, Tell us about yourself and about how you got started on Ingress.
Yeah, so
Start playing.
my name is, well, obviously, the name's Corey. I'm fairly young. I just turned into my lower 30s, so I don't have a whole lot of great experience out there, like traveling and doing things. I had just started working a new job when Ingress came out, and I've been with that company now for 4 years, and it's been one of the greatest moves that I ever made. But when I started working for this company, it was, I was from small towns, 26,000 people is the size of Owatonna, and now I'm working up in the metro area where there's, millions of people. And so I didn't really know the area. I didn't really know places to eat. I was still living in Mankato at the time, which Mankato to Plymouth is about an hour and a half one-way trip to drive to. So I spent a lot of time on the road. And it also just happened to be right when this is funny. The last election cycle was going on for presidential elections. It's a pretty brutal campaign between Mitt Romney and President Obama, and my Facebook was just exploding with all sorts of political ads and people talking about all kinds of different things. And I just said, you know what, I'm done with it. I washed my hands at Facebook and I went over to Google Plus, and eventually I started seeing some ads for Ingress. So I was like, hey, what's that? Clicked on it, requested an invite, and got one right away. The first month was out. So I play Ingress because of Obama.
Nice. Thanks, Obama.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty awesome. I don't think anyone has ever said that.
Yeah.
So props to you, man.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been playing for a very long time, and I've kind of done really all sorts of different roles. I've started off at the beginning when my big town had, what was it, 13 portals, I think, something around there. And in order to play anywhere and drive anywhere, you had to go four portals in the next town up, four portals in the next town up, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, you sound like my grandpa, like walking uphill both ways in the
Yeah.
snow.
Yeah.
You probably played in the snow though, so you probably have like a valid story.
Yeah. One of the first farms that I went to, I had to tromp through about 2 feet of snow in my boots just to reach some of those portals.
Oh man, and it was probably freezing cold too.
Nah, it was almost raining.
Corey,
Fun.
Corey, you should start something like a patch, like the Obamacare, but with the Obama girls, or something like that.
That'd be a good one. I could probably make that happen.
I'll buy it, man.
Nice. Ashley, how did you start playing Ingress? Tell us your origin story.
Well, it's a bit odd. I don't really remember. I think I was just in the Play Store looking for something to do, and the idea of going places and exploring, just the description that was listed seemed very appealing. My ex had actually started playing a year previous to me. I just celebrated my first year anniversary on April 13th. So I'm, new. And he only played for about a month or so, and then it just wasn't his deal. But I picked it up a year later, and I just never put it down, and I fell in love with the game, and I'm definitely addicted.
What made you fall in love with the game? I'm just curious because a lot of us that were here maybe years ago, which I think is most of us on
Yeah.
on the show, so I'm just curious from a newer player where things have evolved quite a bit since you came in. You didn't experience the struggles
Correct.
that we did.
Yeah. No, not at all. There definitely has not been as much evolution with the game in the past year than there was prior to that, for sure. So for me, what really roped me in was exploring, meeting people. I had not really been connected to the community as much and didn't know much about history and, didn't get out as much and was actually pretty depressed, and I finished grad school, just, didn't have much excitement in my life. So I started playing Ingress, and it really just kind of tapped back into my wanderlust and traveling and exploring, and so I'm working on Onyx Explorer. I have, about 5,000 more to go on it, and I just love traveling with the game. So I love meeting people. I've met about 2,000 agents, 2,000 enlightened, about 1,000 res, and I love it.
Well, and that's the part of the game that keeps you all of us doing this community. And yeah, I think in the last year there are few changes on the game. But what about you, Corey? You play Ingress since 2012, so that's a long time already, man.
Yep.
So how do you think that the experience has changed from the time you were a noob and the noobs this year?
Well, that's one of those things that we always talk about whenever we're talking with some of the new players. I never want to get to the point where I'm like, you young players, you've got it so easy and things like that. But it was a very, very different game when I was playing. Like I said earlier, we only had a handful of portals in every town. So if you wanted to try to get any AP, you had to travel. You had to go different places. Nowadays, I can go to like the state fairgrounds here in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. There's nearly 200 portals that I could link up, and I could get to level 8 in a day if I wanted to. But back then, level 8 took a month, if you were lucky, if you were dedicated, and if you were willing to go out and drive.
Yeah,
We
no
didn't
kidding,
really
man.
have we didn't have great farms. It was I had a town that was my level 4 gear. There were 5 portals there that I could go and hack on my way home. There was another town that was my level 5 gear, and I convinced one of my other associates to come down and make a level 6 farm for me so I could get 6, 5, and 4s all on the way down home. And that was unheard of because everyone's like, well, how you got so many portals you can hack gear from? Just like, dude, I hit it twice a day, and it just adds on like an extra 2 hours to my day. That's no problem. Playing
Corey's got the right
nowadays, it's
attitude, man. I'm telling you,
well,
Corey's got the right attitude.
yeah. Back then you had to. There was one of my friends made a mission of the original portals of Mankato from when I started, and he said if this was all that I had to play with when I started, I probably would have quit because it's just too much work. Players today, though, I mean, yes, you guys are lucky. There's so many portals that you can go out. There's so many different things you can do, but it's not just that. Back when I started, we didn't really have a community. We had comm, and we could message a couple of different people that you could talk to, and you could say, hey, I'd like an upgrade here, or I'd like to do this, but we didn't have set communities. We didn't have people that were trained in on how to do different things. We didn't know all of the rules. We would constantly be on Google trying to find things, and back then we were using IRC and Google Groups to try to track everything down. So when Hangouts and communities started to become really popular, and when eventually we started switching over to other chat programs, I mean, the amount of things that just our players could do alone skyrocketed, and it made all the difference in the world.
Yeah, that's maybe the biggest difference on the old days when we didn't have any kind of organization, or was like the big community was like 5 guys and that's it. And now the new guys came into communities, I don't know, about 20, 30, maybe 100 guys in the community. That's awesome. What was your experience um, talking about that experience of being welcome into a community, Ashley?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question? I apologize.
Yeah, it's okay. What was your experience to be welcome into your community? It is a
Oh,
big community.
it's really large in the Philadelphia area, and it really was amazing to me because I made friends really quickly, which I do in real life anyway, but I just realized pretty quickly that you get to know people at a much faster rate than I think outside the game. Especially if you're spending a significant amount of time with them, you get to know people really intimately, and that was huge for me. It's had a big impact just on my personal life, and I've seen people make comments referring to, if the game ended, everybody would go their separate ways, and I've said to people numerous times, you're hanging out with the wrong people. I've met amazing people that I really feel will be in my life for the rest of my life. So it's been really powerful. And I sometimes joke that as a community, we're sometimes very dysfunctional, functioning family in a way. That we all have our idiosyncrasies and quirks, but especially in the Philadelphia area, I feel like we, for the most part, are connected and give each other space to deal with our crap. But there's also grace there and just a lot of support. So I've really appreciated it. It's been a good experience.
Speaking of people that you'll probably know and hang out with forever, Andrew, my man.
What's up, Frank?
How you
How's
doing,
everybody
man?
doing tonight? Good. I can't complain. Before we get to the code of the show, this is tonight's kind of a special night for us because talking about relationships and everything. The reason why we started this show 2 years ago, this is our 2-year anniversary tonight, was just to meet people, share people's experiences from literally all around the world. We've had people from mainland China, from Egypt, obviously Mexico, the U.S., Europe, Africa. I mean, it's crazy the amount of people that we've had on the show. This is episode 94. So before we get to the codes, I just want to say thank you all for watching. We aren't doing this to become famous. I never in a million years started this thinking that I would get a job with Niantic. It's crazy how much this game has touched people's lives and started relationships. So thank you for continuing to watch and support us. It's meant a lot. We do it because, quite simply, we love it. So, but with that, I know that you also love codes. So let's get to the code, shall we? Here we go. Drum roll, please. Oh, that was too long or too short.
I was actually going to do a drum roll. I didn't realize you were that fancy with your own drum roll.
I'm that fancy, but I had the wrong screen up. There it is. All right, yay! So we've got some birthday codes in there because, again, this is our 2-year anniversary. So I'm going to leave this up for a little bit longer than normal because we also have another announcement tonight. We are going to just try something next week. We'll see how it goes. We've talked about it for a while, and that is we kind of want to do a round table show talking about like the events of the investigation, what's been kind of going on, pick people's brains about like the XM drought, all that sort of stuff. So next week, probably at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, we're just going to do a round table, have about 4 or 5 people on, pick your guys' brains for a half hour leading up into Behind the Scanner. If you want to be part of that show, send an email to info@behindthescanner.com and just say, I don't know, put in the subject line roundtable show or something like that. Let us know. Put a link to your G+ profile in there for us, and we'll be in touch. Again, it's going to be next week. Just a 30-minute thing just to see how it goes. Next week, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. We're just going to give this a shot. So if you want to come on, if you want to be one of our guests, we'll probably do somewhere between 3 to 5 people maybe. Just talk about things. Operation Essex, I'm sure you guys will want to be part of that. Also, Big Maddie, that group, you guys are welcome to. Just shoot off an email, info@behindthescanner.com. We'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll do it, I don't know, every other week. I don't think we can do it every week. We kind of got a packed schedule, but yeah, so we'll try that out. With that, let's see here. There is kind of a lot of codes up there, isn't there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You think that's enough time? You think everybody's got them?
Snooze, you lose, man. That's what I say.
All right. And they're gone. All right. So, as I was so rudely interrupted by my electronic assistants, I have another meeting to go to. So you guys have a good show, and I will catch up with you later. Enjoy, have fun, happy hacking.
See you, Andrew.
See you.
Always good to have that guy on here. He's good peoples. And you know what? He brings goodies. He brings the codes. So, can't complain. For everyone watching, don't forget you can interact with us on our live chat in our chat room on behindthescanner.com. So go ahead and go over there. You can go to the top of the menu area and hit the chat button and start talking to us. I'm actually hanging out in there. We were talking about towels, and then we were talking about stuff on YouTube. So join it. We're having a good time there. Side talk. I'll even give you a few seconds to get over there.
Okay. How many? Like
I think that's good. I mean, if
okay.
if you're watching us, you got a browser open. Just double up. Let's do this. Ashley, we're gonna go back to you. So you're definitely known to be a mission aficionado. How many missions have you done? And I want to know also, what's the most interesting mission that you've ever done?
Oh my goodness. So as of today, I have done 2,615 missions.
Oh my gosh. That was like.
Oh man, that was not the number I was expecting.
I had to translate it to Spanish to figure if I was understanding well, and I was
to comprehend.
Oh my god.
Yes, so more than, what is it, 5 times Onyx? I don't even know what that's called. Besides maybe crazy. Yes, so I'm crazy about missions.
Where are you finding these things? I mean, are there really that many missions?
There are more now, and 6 months ago, you really couldn't get Onyx in your own town for sure unless you were in New York. But now these are a lot more available. You do have to do a little bit of traveling. I've done a lot of traveling. I have a lot of friends and family in the southeastern U.S., and I'm really into couch surfing and traveling around. So I've literally just stalked murals, stalked players, see what they're doing. I'm in all the mission chats for the east side of the U.S.
Wow.
And I've traveled up and down the coast a couple of times to get sets completed. So I have only about a third of New York done, though, so I'm going to be getting back to New York on a regular basis, and I have not done Boston yet, which has a huge tons of sets, just as long as Chill Will leaves them up for me to catch up to him. So yeah, I travel a lot. I drive a hybrid, that helps, and I hang out with people and have had a lot of players host me in their homes, which has been amazing. It's been a great experience.
That is pretty awesome. Truth be told, I think I've done like 5. So
that's cool. It's not for everybody. I have gotten frustrated quite a few times, and after I do a big push, like this past big push I did around the Anomaly in Orlando, I did missions for 2 straight weeks and was pretty fried after that, so I've been taking it slow right now, but I'll start up again actually next week. So.
I will say though, and you can tell me if you agree, but I'll say that the missions that I have done have all been out of town or out of the country, and I find that those are probably the most fun for a number of reasons, mostly because you get to kind of check out this new city and you have somewhere to start and somewhere to end. Like you can just kind of go and meander versus looking at a map and trying to figure out where am I going to go.
I found that I love all the things that I'm accomplishing while doing missions. I love the multitasking aspect of it. If I'm just working uniques, I can usually do it about 45 minutes and then I'm just bored to death. But I can do missions,
yeah, right?
20 hours, I'm good. So, then I'm fine. But, yeah, it's a great way to work Explorer and Pioneer and learn about areas that I've never visited. I never went to like small towns in South Jersey or way out in the sticks in PA or wherever. I mean, who does that? So
Ingressers, come on.
Yeah, so I'm like all the things, all the places.
So what's the most interesting mission that you've done then?
Well, it's according to how you define interesting. There's, sets that I, have done the most amount of cursing and screaming about. Most of those have been in New York City, so thank goodness, you don't get too much attention on the corner when you're losing your mind. Small towns, people just look at you really weird. Are you okay? Do you need help? I'm like, a lot of help, but I don't think you can help me right now. So I don't really know, honestly, what my favorite is. That's pretty sad. They're all interesting, and they're all interesting in different ways. There are things that I like, if you're looking for the biggest, fastest set, I would say Vader with Parasol in New York City. But then there's sets where, you get the most uniques out of. And I still do single missions, which a lot of times, big mission people do not do single missions anymore. But I love the fact that it takes me to really out-of-the-way places. Inevitably, I think the church's missions in towns that go to every single religious institution kind of drive me crazy, but they're awesome for uniques. So I'm really still big on doing singles, and just as long as I can see an area and know that I can get 6 done for a row, then I go for it.
Sounds good. Corey, you there?
Yo, sure am.
So you've been involved in a number of anomalies. How many have you attended?
Physically attended, we've had 2 in Minnesota. We've got a 3rd one coming up. I've done Chicago, Madison, Sioux Falls, and Oklahoma City.
Nice.
Those are the ones that I've physically been to, and then I've also assisted quite a few of them for different things like field intel work, field blocking, things like that.
So so speaking of that, like what roles do you like to take for an anomaly? I mean, are you more kind of like a boots on the ground kind of person, strategy, you like doing intel, or kind of, traffic cop directing people?
Yeah, yeah, I'm not a cat herder. Anyone that knows me will understand that. Any chance that I get to be at an anomaly site, I'm going to love to take it, because when you're at an anomaly site, you're actually getting the experience of meeting all the people that are out there and getting to see the scenery and visit the cities and all of that. If I can't physically make it out, then I'll always offer up to help with intel. Usually, especially in the colder months, the anomalies don't tend to come here to the Midwest, so pretty much all I can do is either intel or fly halfway across the country to help out. So I've done all kinds of different roles. I've been participant, I've been team leads, I've been point of contact for the last Minneapolis anomaly that we had here. I've done intel assistance, I've done intel lead, I've done, hey, we need you to go move a key for the field that's going to happen, you name it.
Team player.
Yeah, that's a lot of work, man. So,
well, keep in mind, I've been doing this since 2012. I've had a lot of time to do this. It's not like I did this all yesterday.
That's true. You've got a seriously long run. So, just curious, what would you say is your most memorable anomaly and why?
The most memorable anomaly. Every anomaly has got some really great parts that you'll remember. I can remember having to do all that walking in Chicago. There was a ton of walking for it. I've done with the last Minneapolis anomaly that we had, because I was the lead, I got to get my hands in so many different components of the anomaly and help out with it. But the most memorable one's always going to be your first. The first anomaly that we had was right when they had started moving over to a multi-city environment. It was the Minotaur Anomalies, and Minneapolis was the primary one. We started up in the Walker Art Center Sculpture Gardens, and then we just kind of did a big loop around Minneapolis. And I helped out with the planning. We had no idea what to expect. I remember driving for 16 hours the day before, throwing as many giant links around southern Minnesota as I could, trying to prevent any sort of massive field that could go up. And then after all that driving and link throwing, I then shot way back up into Minneapolis, and we did a bunch of farms and got everything heavily shielded, level 8, prepared, ready to go. And then the Anomaly Day happened. I went home. I came back, and we had an awesome time at that Anomaly. It was grueling and tiresome, but it was one of those things you'll never forget.
Wow, you have a lot of experience, man, and it's really great to talk with somebody that has been moving all around the game, you know, because I'm not criticizing. There are players that step just in one place all for all the time that they have been playing Ingress, and it's okay. It's okay. I love those guys that are hunting the AP and or those guys that love the Intel and they're always playing on their computers, not spoofing, but but doing the Intel and everything. But you had been all around the I don't know how to call them the positions on Ingress and that's cool because you are a guy that you could be like a mentor for news, you know, like showing them all around and set them in the good place on Ingress. I don't know. You can be the Jedi Master of your area, man.
Yeah. So one of the reasons that I do that is really kind of past my origin story part when I mentioned that we got this community that had just started to grow. Uh, I got to learn different places to go, how to navigate in the Twin Cities. I got to meet some different people. I got all sorts of experience that I never would have had without this game. And so I started going around to all these different places, trying to meet all the new players and trying to help get them into the community so they could experience the same things that I was throughout everything. And by doing so many different steps like that, I just all sorts of different things fell into my lap. People started to know me. They started to ask questions. Can you do this? Do you know how to do this? Do you understand what this is? And I would always go through and help them out.
Well, let's talk about your Ingress accomplishments then. What are your most proud achievement on the game? It is badge, it is an app, it is maybe a community event.
I'll get into that in just a moment, but I'm going to share. I've got this nice picture. This is me in a kayak. It's the end of May on Lake Superior, and apparently it's still covered in ice.
Yeah.
And there was a portal that was accidentally misplaced from when the game started up, and it had been in there for about a year and a half at this point. People knew about it. No one had really done anything with it. And so I went out and I captured that portal using that kayak. And as you can see, I'm dressed for the occasion, clearly. I'm in a polo shirt. I don't have a life jacket. My dad took this picture because my family was standing out there, and my mom just hated the fact that I was doing this. By far,
Well, I
one of
can
my
see
more
why,
memorable achievements.
I can see
Crazy.
why every mom gets
Yeah.
worried about their kids.
Well, I know how to take care of myself. It was 70 degrees on the shore. There were people in bikinis sunbathing, but the lake was just so cold there was still ice on it.
Yeah, that water temp must have been crazy.
It's Lake Superior. It's always
Yeah.
cold.
Yeah.
But as far as like what I'm most proud of, when badges first came around, I was at nearly 2,000 items for Explorer, and because of the sparse density of our portals, that was just kind of unheard of in our area. And so I was pretty proud of the fact that I kind of created a community to encourage others within our group to say, hey, let's go through and, who can get the most portals. And so we created a Gold Explorers room, and anytime anyone could get to Gold, we'd add them in, and we'd say, all right, who's getting to Platinum? And so we'd always keep track of our unique portal visits and our unique portal captures. Since we used GroupMe, we could always change our names and put that information into it. And that was really successful in trying to get people to actually get out and explore and go to different areas. And as such, it would get all of the people out to help out, build up farms out in really remote areas where there just happened to be a good density of portals. And then we would also do unique trips where we would actually spend like an entire weekend driving around and just doing completion across all of these different towns. Like Rochester was a big one. There was 600 portals when we did that. We hit nearly every single one of those.
Wow, man, dude, let me. I don't know what to say, man. I'm really impressed. I'm really
Yeah, I
impressed,
mean,
dude.
there's, like I said, the big thing that I loved was actually getting out there, actually getting to meet people, and actually getting to learn the terrain far more efficiently than it would have been if I had just, had a map and was told, hey, go to this place. So there's all sorts of different things that I got to do because of that, and I really wanted other people to have that experience too.
Yeah, you are like the 007 of Ingress.
There's a saying in Minnesota, Peeps sent me, because I would always be telling people, hey, you should go and help out this farmer. Hey, you should go to, take out this area. There's been some strange activity. You should make sure that these portals aren't green so that they can't field it. It kind of grew and grew and grew until it basically became one of the top resistance things that people would say. The other one being all blue all the time.
Cool. Cool. So, getting back to the question, so which is your most you have a badge and up and everything on your history as Ingress player, but is there anyone that is really 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 the special one,
Yeah,
or is
I
everything?
I actually met my girlfriend, now fiance, playing this game,
Oh,
and
that's an accomplishment.
yes, by far one of the more memorable things, because I knew her for months, not even aware that she was interested in me. So she kept always attending these different events and, dropping the subtle hints that she was interested in me, but I was completely oblivious to it because I'm male.
Standard. Yep, I was
Yeah.
just about to say that. Standard. And you know what? I'm going to take this little moment to drop a little PSA to the ladies that are watching and say, you know what? It's not that we're not interested. It's just that we're super dumb. And you got to spell it out.
Well, I have to. Well, I have to agree, man.
Right?
Yeah. So yeah, she started playing in October of 2013, and we started dating in February of 2014. After she let me know that she was interested and wanted to go on a date, and we've developed a strong relationship and a strong bond. We're in the process of preparing for a wedding, and I can't imagine what my life would be like without her.
Wow, that's awesome, man, and congrats.
Thank
Really,
you.
that is. It's not easy to find the love of your life, and well, I think Ingress has done that for a lot of people, and well,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
congrats, really, really, congratulations for your future wedding.
Thank you.
So, Ashley, how about you? Had you find the love of your life in Ingress? Maybe, maybe a badge,
No
maybe.
pressure. No pressure.
Thanks. It's interesting that I've spent so much time doing missions and really worked on that. Um, it's funny. I can't say that I'm proud of doing so many missions. I'm becoming much more attached to Explorer, and so that's my favorite badge. I just realized yesterday that I'll probably have Onyx Explorer within the next 2 to 3 months, and I had this moment of fear of like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do next? Which I think some people some people get to when they turn 16, or they're like, oh, the game isn't interesting anymore, and I've always thought there's so much more to do. So I've definitely evolved throughout the time that I've been playing, but so there's that. But I think one of the things that I'm really proud about is my commitment to healthy expat relations, and in traveling and visiting around, I get thrown into the middle of quite a few things, and I'm constantly challenged to rethink my personal commitment to, what is it that I'm committed to as a human being, integrity, and also the ideas of reconciliation. So that really plays out in the game a lot, and so I have those conversations a lot with both sides, and in different areas of the country and different towns. Some places have really great expat relations, and some are very toxic. So in some ways, I've been able to contribute to those improvements, and sometimes it seems like there's not a lot of hope. So, but that's one thing that's really important to me. And in my travels, I've realized that we have really good, healthy cross-faction relations in Philadelphia, and I'm really thankful for that. So that's a priority for me. And so I'm proud of that.
Great. It is really important to have really good cross-faction relations on this game. Not because you have to. Some people think that having cross-faction relationships has something to do on play with the other guy, or invite the other faction guy to your home, and that's not the truth. The thing is that you have to acknowledge that you are on a game, and it's just a game. It's nothing that you have to fight with somebody else, calling names on the com or on the chats or whatever you find it, and it's really sad when there are when you find cities or places where the relations are really crude and sometimes violent.
Yes. I think it's so important for us to realize that we don't know who's on the other side of that IGN. It could be someone with a mental health issue. It could be someone that's disabled. Um, it could be a veteran. It could be we have no idea who we're playing with and who's on the other team until we get out there and meet people. And it's so easy to dehumanize what's different or the other. And so reaching out and getting to know people as human beings is crucial. So I'm always encouraging people to, attend XFAC events and get to know people and go out and hang out with them. You don't have to be best buds, and you'll find that, maybe you do become friends with people in the other faction. So I try to have fun with it, and the process that, most players evolve as they level up. They're not as attached, and tend to, you see them mature throughout gameplay, which is really helpful. Some people it comes naturally too, and then some people it doesn't. But it is learnable, I believe.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely. I think that's a really good point of kind of moving past the in-game name, right, and kind of looking at the unknown and the situation these people are in, putting yourself in their shoes, or just kind of being an open mind. That's pretty good advice, and not advice that we hear very often. So that's pretty awesome. So Corey, you over there?
Sure am.
All right, making sure it's not too cold. I thought I saw you run for a heater.
No. It is right down next to my feet, but it's unplugged. I haven't had to use it in a while.
Nice. So I got a question for you, since you've been around the block and in Ingress, so to speak. What is one of the mistakes that you see players make again and again?
Just take your pick is probably going to be where I'm going to start with this.
It's like mistake
Obviously
roulette.
there's quite a bit of just they don't know how to play the game properly, so they don't understand all the linking rules. Sometimes they'll be like, well, why can't I throw a link from this portal? So I'll under a field. Obviously, you can't do that. A lot of gameplay stuff that we've been trying to help train and coach people that are a lot of things that are in like the new player training guides that what's her name, Alexa, I think it
Yeah.
was, created.
Yeah, those were awesome.
Those things have been very nice. They've been very helpful for that. And then once they get into the system, it's just a lot of the same community protocol things that get messed up. So we use GroupMe for our chats instead of like Hangouts, because GroupMe we can expand the room limit. We can you have agents use their actual game names instead of their personal names, and it works really well on mobile, regardless of if it's Apple or Android. When players join in, they'll mean to change their name and change the group name. They'll mean to change their profile picture and they'll change the group picture. It's little stuff like that, and so we get that taken care of, and we put it back. And what was the other one? Oh, we have a room for codes.
Yeah.
Oh,
hi, girlfriend.
Oh, look at that. She's handing me a Peeps.
Hi, girlfriend. Hi, Peeps. Hi, girlfriend.
Oh, she's getting her dog.
Oh.
We have a codes room. The rule is codes only. The title of the room literally says codes only. People post things that aren't codes.
Of course.
It'll get you every time.
So tell me this: how many of those like kind of rookie mistakes can you sympathize with, though? Like, how many of those have you done yourself quite a bit?
If ever I post something in COM that I shouldn't, it's usually because I intended to do so, and I haven't posted in codes or like the codes room. I haven't accidentally changed the name of our rooms or pictures or anything like that. Sure, I've made mistakes with gameplay, not understanding how different things work, but at the same time, there were literally 20 people that know about it, and most of them don't play anymore. So I think I'm safe.
Nice. What advice would you give new players to kind of help them advance on, speed up their learning curve or even their achievements?
Yeah, what you need to do right away, new players, is get involved with your community. Get in touch with people that are there to help you learn, help you understand how the game works, because once you get involved with the community, you get trusted in the community, you're going to have so much more fun because you can actually get out there. You can show up to all the different farming events. You can help out with large-scale operations, and you can do it in a way that you actually get to learn instead of you try to make a big field yourself and you accidentally Jarvis somebody's guardians. That has happened before. It was because people didn't communicate properly, and it's one of those learning rule things that needs to be done.
Absolutely. And I think one of the to add to that, one of the other mistakes that's pretty common is people, especially new people, don't realize how much of a team game Ingress is, right? So they're kind of hesitant to get involved in the community. And that's like...
Yeah, I mean, it's since they were, born, they've always been told, don't talk to strangers, don't meet up with strangers from the internet and everything like that. But of all the different things that have changed... Yeah. But of all the different things that have changed within this game, the one thing that has always remained constant is that you have to work with your local players in order to actually make the game fun and make it entertaining.
Absolutely. Teamwork makes the dream work. That's what I always say. Ashley, what mistake do you see players make?
I agree with Corey about the importance of getting involved in the community, and that's crucial. I mean, there's the classic, this is my portal, and, I'm going to come after you, you're going to die. It's like, oh, we have another tadpole, or whatever, So I reach out and, have a conversation with them. Which I feel like the Philadelphia area. Both factions are really great about taking care of their people and getting their new people involved in the community. There are those that refuse, and both sides have people that were challenging and sometimes embarrassing. Just like, oh my goodness. So I kind of like go back to the whole idea of like the importance of XFAC is that this idea of it's us against them and it's war and it's we're demonizing the other side when the other side is doing the exact same thing we're doing. So those are the mistakes. I think it's the mistakes that we all see, and I think some areas are great at reaching out to the new people that start. And when I'm encountering people, if I'm working uniques and just completely obliterating an area, and a new person on the other team is like, "I'm going to kill you. You're going to die," I usually try to tag local players in their area that are high level and say, "Hey, here's someone for you to reach out to and hang out with and teach them how to play Ingress." I've also helped people a lot on comm, both factions, when they're starting out. So, yeah, I think being committed to the community at large and being committed to everyone in the process of learning the game, become mature players is important.
Absolutely. So what advice would you give players kind of up and coming, overcoming these issues in the future?
Find players that are higher level, hang out with them. Let them give you free gear. And
I know, right? Like, just take it.
I've told people like, "Hey, I want to meet you." Yeah, they're like, "No, I'm not interested." I'm like, "I want to give you gear." And they're like, "No, I'm good on gear." And I'm thinking, "Oh my god."
No, you're not. Don't lie to me.
Hopeless.
Don't lie. I know you're lying.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think the best thing has been players that have been in my car for an hour or two, and they're like, "Wow, I've learned more with you in an hour than I've learned in the 2 to 3 months I've been playing this game." So,
yeah.
That's really awesome to hear, and it's really cool to be able to have that kind of impact on a player and then see them evolve into something awesome. So.
Yeah, don't ever underestimate the power of what another player can just like kind of give you a mental download right there on the spot and just drop everything on you and advance you weeks in like a 10-minute period.
Absolutely.
Oh, George is muted.
Oh my God! Well,
everybody drink.
Yeah. Well, guys, it's time for some questions. Are you willing to take them?
Yeah, bring it on.
Okay, I think. Oh yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, this is for both M3 Tafor. I hope that's the correct way to pronounce it. For both, would you like to have the ability to rearrange your badges on your profile?
No. I feel very strongly about rearranging badges, and I like the fact that they are in the order that they are, that I've earned them. I'm not thrilled with the new mission badge that it is in a different place. With the new tiered badge, it looks like a more recent achievement for me than when I actually earned the first mission badge. I'd like to tag along the idea of being able to arrange missions. I have a lot of people say, "Oh, I want to rearrange my missions because I didn't do it in order." And those of us that have all our stuff in order work very hard to keep it that way. So I feel very strongly that no, we've worked for that, and I would like to see it stay the way that it is. That's my 2 cents.
Okay, what about you, Corey?
The only thing that I might want to do is with the actual like bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and onyx badges, arrange it so that all my onyxes are together. Because now I've got, like I've got two onyxes that are separated by a gold seer, so they'll never be able to touch.
Okay.
That might be
Okay.
the only one that I'd change. Otherwise, I'm happy with how my badges are at.
Okay. Well, we have another question for both of you from Kosh the Reaper, and he's asking, or she, I don't know, if you could make a mode, what would it be? Have you think on that? If you could build a mode for the portals, can you have you imagined what could it be, Ashley?
A moat, like around a castle?
No, like a shield or something like that, like a turret.
Oh, okay. If I could you ask the question again? I'm confused.
Yeah. Well, this agent, Kosh the Reaper, is asking if you have dreamed for a mode, a different kind of mode, like a different kind of shield for the portals, or a different kind of, I don't know, link camp or something like that.
Oh, um, so it would be like maybe a shield that's stronger than an axa. I haven't really thought much about that, but I recently heard someone discussing that they would like to have some sort of virus where it affected not just the portal that they applied it to, but that it went through and connected to the other portals that were linked to that initial portal. So
Wow,
I thought that was kind of a cool idea and scary.
really scary.
Yeah.
Like a very rare Ada or Jarvis or something like that.
Yeah.
Wow. You, Corey, have you think on that?
Same one that I've been asking for since they came out with viruses. An antivirus mod that you'd be able to put on a portal that would protect it from being flipped.
Okay. Well, if we have that ultra rare Jarvis or Ada, we can have that too. It would be like a good improvement. Have both protection for flipping and big virus for to flip all the virus that are connected with the links. That would be cool. Yeah. Well, let's go to for both. Let's start with you, Corey. What is your Ingress power food?
Power food?
Yeah.
Well, the big thing right around here is actually the blue Ultra Monster energy drinks.
Oh
They're
my
0 calories, 0 sugars, and they're blue. So they're very, very popular in Minnesota.
God. Okay. You drink that a lot?
Yeah, especially if we've got like a late night or an all weekend event that's going on. We'll usually have a couple of those available, except for an Anomaly, water only.
Okay. What about you, Ashley?
When you asked the question, the first thing that popped into my mind was, me being out on missions and walking 20 to 25 miles in a day. I have a solar backpack with a Camelback, a 3-liter Camelback in it, and tons of chargers. So for me, survival is all-encompassing water, batteries, and being able to last throughout the day. I eat a lot of paleo trail mix, kale chips, and jerky.
Jerky? What is jerky?
Like beef jerky or turkey jerky.
Ah,
I
turkey.
usually get it at Whole Foods.
I was gonna say, seriously, George, you know what jerky is?
Sorry, man.
It's dried
Oh
meat and
man.
lasts for a long time, so you don't have to keep it refrigerated or whatnot.
I guess
So,
jerky is kind of like American. Like it's not uniquely American, but it is big in America.
I've
Like
made a lot of my own jerky in the past, so I always use like pastured
dude,
meat and.
jerky is the best. Road trip munchies right there.
Exactly.
Down. Well, we have a last question for Corey. It says, ask Peeps about the kayak trip on the Mississippi.
Yeah, that wasn't actually me. That I had my hands in that one, but no, there's a portal on an island in the middle of the Mississippi River that we saw a very large link go to, and we didn't like it, so we went and we took the link out and made sure that the portal was blue. But that wasn't me in that kayak. That was another Minnesota agent that did that one.
Oh, okay.
Everyone just kind of assumes that I'm the one in the kayak because of the picture on Lake Superior.
Oh, okay. Well, it's who was the agent on that kayak in the
The
Mississippi?
agent that did that one was, I can't remember, it was either Lad Golf or Big Papa Jam.
Okay, well, there's the credit. Have you done something really crazy or something like that, like a kayak, Ashley, for your missions or something else?
I don't think so. I've talked to a lot of police officers and tracked down management of secure locations to gain access to finish the mission or get to a portal. So I've done that, but I don't think I've really done anything crazy. I've gone over a few fences, but I swear it wasn't trespassing. But that's pretty much the extent of it. I have gotten to meet and talk to quite a few security police officers and had them escort me through areas that, were closed off for whatever reason that needed to get to finish a mission.
Scourge, like following on the police car, or were in the police car?
I've walked up to police in police cars. I've walked up to police on the street. I do the whole southern accent. Hi, can you help me? I play this game. Thing, and it works. It works every time. So
I
I've
should have been a
also
Southern girl. That never works for me.
I needed to get to the portal on the Steel Pier in Atlantic City, and I tracked down the manager and drove a truck and had a dog, and we hung out for a little while, and I told him about my game, and yeah.
That's pretty
So,
awesome.
it totally
Bravo
worked.
to you for the persistence. That's pretty rad.
Yeah.
Well, since we got you talking, Ashley, it's that time, right? So we're gonna wrap this up. But before we do, it's time for a BTS tradition. So you've got 60 seconds where you can talk about whatever you want. Game changes, shout outs, anything that you want to do. The floor is yours for 60 seconds. Go.
Well, I would like to encourage everyone to attend First Saturdays if they have the ability to in their area, and go to mission days and go to XPEC events, even when you're mad and angry, to just make that a choice that you, I just challenge you to commit to it. And then just a huge shout out to my friend Chris, Ejected 420 in Philadelphia, and his family for letting me take over their basement tonight. So I really appreciate that. To the Pi community, Philadelphia Enlightened, just thank you guys so much for taking me in and being so great. Y'all are fabulous.
Oh, thank you so much, Ashley. And well, it's your time, Corey. You have 60 seconds. Go.
If I tried to name everybody that's made an impact on my life in Ingress, I would probably be here for a few hours. I don't even know if I could remember everybody's names. I've done so many different things, but
Okay, and you can have your own show for that. So
okay, thanks. I do want to give a shout out to my fiance, Labatri. Love you, dear. I want to encourage all of the new players that are joining into the game. seek out a mentor, seek out somebody that can help you get with your community, because your community is going to be there. And really, just in general for everybody, I'd like to say, remember that the player with the opposite color from you is not your enemy. They're your opposition. They're real people, and actually they're a lot of fun. The major difference between them is their preference in color, and don't discount them immediately just because of that. Judge them by how they act when they're not behind the scanner.
Wow. Well, guys, it's been amazing to have you here tonight in the show. You are amazing. You have a lot of experiences. Even Ashley, that has not few time on the game, but shortly than Corey. And you're great, guys. You are amazing agents. Thank you for being with us.
Yep, thanks, guys. It was great talking to you guys and hanging out for this hour.
Yep, thank you for the opportunity.
All right. Don't forget, everyone watching, join us next week. Happy hacking. As we rock out to this closing music.
Play safety. Please don't drive and Ingress at the same time.
Yep. You guys can't see me, but I'm totally dancing to this music. It's super awesome.
Yeah, it's super awesome. You're like a Muppet.
I'm like a Muppet. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult.
It's